Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you in another video. All right, so it's a couple things going on in the NBA. I figured I'd just bump my gums. First off, Ja Morant did the same dumb thing that he did last time, and it's now going to be removed from Memphis's activities for now. I don't know if that's going to follow a big suspension, but it seems like that would be the kind of environment for which he's created by allowing himself to be seen yet again on IG holding yet again another firearm. I saw the photo, or rather the little still of it, and he knew the camera was there. He was looking at the camera. He was doing all of this, and his man's did like this with his fingers, like a gun to his ear, and panned the camera to the back of the car. I guess it was like they were in an SUV or something like that, to the back of the car, and you could see somebody was back there. You're never able to see who it is. And then when he panned back to Ja had the gun out, and he quickly put the camera down so that we couldn't see any further, but the damage was done. And my thing is, why is Ja allowing himself to hold a gun when a camera is on after what he just went through? The answer, because he's 23 years old, and some kids really can't learn a lesson just one time. And as I said when I was doing all the conversations about that back when it happened, you can't expect this kid to go away for like a month to some little retreat and zap all of this culture out of him and all these desires to do dumb stuff out of him. That doesn't work like that. All you doing is sending him away, slapping him on the wrist, and then telling him go back out there and try again. And then they smear his name all through the mud throughout the playoffs. He loses, hurts his hand, all kinds of other stuff, and then from there doesn't make the all NBA team, and they snatch $40 million from him because that's what the bonus would have been otherwise if he would have made it. So now he's just spiraling even further, all the stress that he's been through, and he's doing the same dumb stuff that ultimately had everything at risk. At the end of the day, if you're going to risk the entire bag because you're upset about losing a small portion of it, then you need to continue to try to work on your mental health. That's all that tells me. If people are going to say stupid ain't the word. I think the way he phrased it initially when he came back and addressed everybody is the way it is. He needs to find more healthy ways of handling his stress, more healthy ways of handling things that go wrong in his life. He wanted that $40 million. He wasn't going to get it. Why? Because of the same dumb thing that he did before. It probably had very little to do with whether or not he deserved it on the court. And so that's what it really comes down to. His leave of absence initially is why he probably was disqualified from his all-NBA thing. You know what I mean? It was that you were holding the gun and being silly was what took that from you. So I don't feel sorry for Ja Morant. He needs to bump his head now. When somebody tell you, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. At this point in time, he made the same mistake twice. And that to me is a hard head that needed to be bumped twice, and maybe he'll do it again a third time. Maybe he won't be happy till he sees the full consequences of his behavior. There are going to be a lot of people who say, oh, he shouldn't be tasked with not having a gun. He's in Tennessee. That ain't the problem. That ain't the problem. It's showing it off when you already got in trouble for that. Having the gun, that's your business. As long as you're doing it in a state, if you have it in a state where it's legal and you're following the laws, no one's going to say anything to you, regardless of what people's opinions are. But that you do something against the rules of your job and you got $500 million on the line, then turn around and go through the whole process of them trying to forgive you. They almost snatch everything from you. And you go back around and do the same thing twice. It's just like, bro, you need to understand that your actions are going to affect your daughter, your father, and your enemies in a way that allows them to continue to pile it on and gain victory off of your mistakes. It's no different than turning the ball over or missing a shot and not rebounding and letting it go the other way. It ain't no different. You know what I mean? You see how these people smearing Ja's name? They're going to have so much more to smear him with now. And it's just like, it don't matter, regardless of the motivation behind why they hate Ja. Ja hates himself. So he just on their team in regards to kicking his own behind. And so what am I going to say? Stop feeding them. You're feeding them by way of yourself, Ja. So we just going to sit here and watch you spiral. That's pretty much what it is. And if ain't no grown-ups going to be around to shake his coattail, if they too busy, enjoying his money, then, it is what it is. They all going to go down in flames together. It's just sad because his daughter's the one that's expecting to grow up with a silver spoon, and it's him putting all that at risk. And that's the reality of it. He's put in a lot of hard work to get the generational wealth that he's trying to leave to his family. And he's going to allow the people who want nothing more than to have a discount on his overall effort. Nothing more. We think they want to pay you $500 million, brother? No, they would just rather pay you $5 and have you do the same thing. It would make them so much happier. And so people need to understand that it's not a benefit to continue to pay you at all. It's no benefit to them to pay cost for your work. So if you're going to do something that's going to hurt yourself, that's going to work in the market they're in, and they're going to take that money they gave you and put it somewhere else where it can be better utilized. People need to understand that. Just because you signed a contract does that not mean that it's not in their best interest to void it at some point in time if you do some weird stuff. Or something that compromises what it is their overall goal is as a company. And so a guy like Ja Morant or anybody else for that matter, you need to understand that. When you sign these contracts, when you take these endorsement deals, they're contingent upon you behaving the way that they accept. And if you're not willing to do that, then that bag is coming out of your pocket. And so I just think that Ja Morant is not mature enough to understand what he's risking. And it seems to me that he's not surrounded by people who are mature enough themselves to help him understand that. A bunch of people who want to hold him accountable but don't really want to hold him accountable. They just want to take his money back. They don't want to heal this kid. If they wanted to heal this kid, they know better than to send him away for a month and bring him back. Would they send their own kid away for a month and bring him back into that pressured environment? No, they would not. They'd send their own kid away for 6 months, 8 months, a year, or however long it took for them to come back fully right and ready to do what it is that they give them a responsibility to do. It's funny how we act like we don't know any better when it's somebody else's. You know what I mean? If it's my child or if it's my business, I'm gonna know exactly what they do with it. But when it comes to somebody else's, apparently the logic just leaves me. They should be fined in 2 weeks. Bring him back in 2 weeks. He run around doing multiple dumb things over and over again that could probably get himself or someone else shot. But you send him away to a retreat for 2 weeks and bring him back, he'll be ready to go for the playoffs. It's like, we can look at Ja, and for those who are saying he's not a child, fine, he's 23, fine, if that's what you want to do here. But at the end of the day, when it really comes down to it, where are the damn grown-ups around him? The actual ones. Not the ones who are legally grown up by way of a couple of years after 21 or some stupid crap. No, we're talking about actual grown-ups, people who are old enough and mature enough to know what he's ruining right now is going to be something he's going to hate himself every day for the rest of his life if it goes down the way it looks like it's going to go. You know what I mean? And unlike some of his predecessors, he has way more money on the line than they would have ever had in their previous eras when they were throwing it all away. We've seen stories like this, and more stories can come if people keep allowing these kids to grow up thinking that there's no consequences for stupid behavior. Or rather, the consequences that Ja is facing were good enough, and they can move forward and be healed from whatever it is they were dealing with that put them in a position to be that dumb in the first place. No. You gotta go and take time for that. You gotta go and find out self-motivating factors, self-motivating change ideas that will make you want to change for yourself. Not because somebody took something from you or somebody put more pressure on you when you wasn't handling the pressure the right way to begin with. Where are the grown-ups? Now you let the Laugh Factory and the Peanut Gallery further apply pressure that's only worsening this kid's head. You know, and it's like, at some point in time, it's easy to say he's stupid. Yes, he's a stupid young child. But if this was 10 years from now, I would hold him accountable for not being in the 23-year-old's ear, telling them how to get around this situation and trying to reach them in a way. You know, you feel me? It's like, he will be tasked with being that person someday, but a people around him, a village around him needs to get him there. And they're failing that young man. They are failing him because they got their hands in his pocket. And that part is more than obvious to me. And look, Ja, bro, if you got people around you that are going to enable you to hurt yourself, when you come back around to realizing that you don't want to hurt yourself, you're going to find out those people were never your friends, bro. But as long as you're confused about whether or not you want to hurt you, you're going to always surround yourself with people who ain't going to have your best interest at heart. That's why the mental health is so important, because people be making decisions like that sheepishly without realizing why they do it. Bro, you're not on your own side. This is why you're going against you. You can't be choosing friends when you're in that mindset. You're going to choose the wrong one. So that's really where we at with that. As far as I could tell, Ja Morant's not wise enough to know that when you live by the gun, you die by the gun. And so you don't want people to know. Everybody don't need to know what you got on you, bro. That's not a preventative measure. You're welcoming something when you do that. That's what John needs to understand. Having it can be preventative. Flashing it, that ain't preventative, bro. You're welcoming energy. And just like I said about your teammate Brooks, when he started calling out LeBron James, talking about, give me 40, I'll respect you. That's a tactic. People do these things for a reason. People don't do these things in an empty way to be seen. A child does things empty to be seen. That's not why that's done. There's a strategy behind certain things. People call people out because they want to see certain things. They're trying to welcome a certain energy. If that's not what you're welcoming, you just want to be seen, then you're going to get what you don't want that comes with it. Think about that pilot that decided to purposely crash his plane just for views. Now he going to get 20 years potentially. Like, bro, that was not well thought out, nor did you know what you were in for, nor was that even safe, obviously. He survived it, but it just goes to show that sometimes people get so caught up in the stupid stuff that they want that they don't realize that it affects everything afterward. You know what I mean? And I think that's what it is with Ja Morant. He want to be seen as whatever he want to be seen in the midst of his struggle with stress or whatever it is that he's dealing with. And he's kicking his own behind, and as a result, he's kicking everybody else behind too. That's attached to him, that eats off of him, that's supposed to be benefiting off of his work. He putting all their lives at risk, all their livelihoods and their money situation at risk. You know what I'm saying? Everybody he talk about he loves so much. I'm going to go see about my sister. Go up to the high school, see about her. All you doing is throwing away every coin that she's supposed to be inheriting if something happened to you. You go up there looking what, you going to fist fight? You going to shoot somebody? How's that supposed to help the family? It's like if these things aren't conveyed by the people who are older than him to help him understand this while he's engaging in the little childishness that he's going through, then that's how he got to be this damn stupid in the first place. Somebody need to say it. 23-year-olds don't grow up like that, making this type of decision, wasting everything if they were raised right. It don't give me household or how the house. It ain't about that. It's about what people are thinking while they're in them households. You can have a nice house, good money, all that, but if people ain't teaching people how to grow up with respect and dignity and how to put forth things that make sense instead of just displaying stuff for no reason, then they're gonna grow up doing stupid stuff for everybody to see when they get famous. Doing stuff for no reason. Dylan Brooks calling out LeBron James for no reason. All he did was bring back energy that he couldn't do nothing with. Ja Morant's just doing a different version of that in a much more serious way with them damn guns. As I always say, that little gun ain't doing nothing for you. You would do better making sure that you hire a security team if that's what it is. If you got those type of threats and people need to know that you're armed, that ain't going to deter them. And with the money that you got, it doesn't make any sense for you to run around with little pea shooters. Why are you trying to look poor, Ja? That's the question. Why are you trying to look poor, bro? With the type of money you got, you could flash the biggest gun there is. You could flash the biggest laser beam. You could fill up the whole street with guns. And that's what makes no sense. With his money, he can do a lot of things that will protect him from any threats that are coming his way. And it's almost like he's not aware of it. It's almost like he run around with risk out there. And I'm telling you, little pea shooters? No, bro. No. You're a $500 million man, basically. You need a team of people protecting you from threats that you are aware of, as well as the ones that you don't even think exist. And that's the problem with a guy like Ja Morant. He's running around like he doesn't even know that these things are in the world. And then my thing is, well, who the hell is managing all this money? And then you can see why all of this is gone as bad as it really is. It has. You can see why. Ja Morant needs new people around him, bro. New people around him. That's all I gotta say. He needs new people around him, because the people that he's had around him, it's obvious they don't know how to protect him or care to protect him, or some variation of the somewhere in between. And to T Moran, I've already said in my opinion, T Moran is just engaging in the same folly his child is, just in a different way. It seems to me from afar. It just seems like he's probably chilling, doing some variation of what Ja's doing, just older. And they both need to be sat down and taught what needs to be done to protect what it is that matters to them the most, so they don't throw away their daughter and granddaughter's future fortune with this stupidity, man. You know? Obviously, you're not afraid of the consequences as much as you said you were, because you welcome in what you do that brings those consequences to. So that's really what I want to say about that, man. I just am frustrated. I guess I'll leave this video at the Ja Morant side of things, since it's already 15 minutes in. We talked about it and I didn't intend to, but it just gets frustrating. That's why I didn't want to make this video, because I'm just like, it's easy to get frustrated with the youngster, but for me, I get frustrated with everybody around him. That's what you're sensing here. It's not him, bro. He's gonna be a dumb kid, bro. Some people have to bump their head a million times. Some people just don't make it because they just keep doing dumb stuff and they just end up wasting away. But if you got a whole team of people who have the same interests you do and you stay in a basketball player, then it shouldn't be you just bumping your head all left and right. Where the hell are all the people supposed to be guiding this young man? Where are the angels in his corner who gonna be benefiting off of his wealth? If for no other reason than they benefit from it themselves. If I'm a selfish family member, the last thing I'm gonna do is let you kill our bag with your stupidity. I'm gonna be on your case because that's my bag. So I really don't understand where it's at. Like, I don't know where, you know what I mean? I don't know where it's at, but they need to find some type of godliness needs to enter the equation. That's really what it comes down to, because people ain't being intelligent, so they got to be more spiritual in this situation. That's really what it comes down to. And so if ain't nobody else gonna say it, I'm gonna say it, man. Ja Morant is trying to throw his soul away, and he's allowing demons and all kinds of other energy around him to allow him to engage in that nonsense without any question of whether or not he should, even though he's already been reprimanded for it, which further helps you understand this self-destructive energy that he's engaging in. Because he's already been bit by it, and it's like he wants it again. It's like, oh, punishment. Let me some more of that. That self-destructive stuff is demonic, man. And I've always known what it is. I've always known, bro. You just got to find a way to get out of your own way. And, you know, it goes into different conversations about faith and mental health and various stuff that he's going to have to figure out. You know, childhood traumas, whatever he's dealing with, he's going to have to deal with it. Or he's going to heap it onto his child. That's all this does. When you fall from grace like this, you give her a hard childhood, bro. And somebody needs to be wise enough and care enough about him to help him understand this. Because the people he's engaging with in this folly, they don't have as much to lose as him. They don't have the same world as him. They're not in the same situation he's in. And if they were, they'd probably handle it a little different. So he needs to stop trying to do what they do, because he's in a different world. And before he knows it, he gonna be in their world, having fallen from grace, if somebody doesn't grab him and shake him. BDL44, I thank you all for watching.